I just put you on a bunch of jars of paint, and hopefully you won't fall. And if you hear noises, it's because my windows are open right behind you. I'm waiting for my camera to just fall over. Please don't fall. Please. This is my new channel. I don't need any accidents. I have a different camera this time. It's better than my iPhone. I'm sorry about the quality of the first video. I did the best I could, okay? I did the best I could with the knowledge and materials that I had, except that I could have used this camera and I didn't. Today we're going to go to the zoo. Actually, I already went to the zoo, but today I'm going to take you along with me and show you what I saw at the zoo. And while I was there, I drew some animals, and we're going to talk about that and why it's important and fun to draw out in public, and how it's a good way to make memories that last your whole life through. Let's see, what do I have today? I have some new art supplies I can show you if you'd like to see them. We can test some out. I have some still lifes I've been working on that I can show you. So let's just get your cup of coffee. My name is Suzette Vita. I've pretty much only family and friends watching this this channel right now, probably, so you know that already. And just so you know, you're my favorite for watching this channel. Whoever you are out there, you know who you are. You're my favorite. All right, let's go. Let's go see some animals. I also wanted to show you that I cleaned my mirror. The dirty mirror from the last video. Look how clean it is. I Windexed it. This is not sponsored by Windex, by the way, but that is what I used on this mirror. And look how clean it is. There's no dust particles. Oh my God. Oh man, I cleaned my whole table, and it's already a mess. But what are you gonna do? You gotta use stuff, right? You can't just not use things and expect them to stay nice all the time. That's a good life lesson. Use your stuff and mess it up. You can always clean it later when it gets to be so overwhelming you can't stand it anymore. Here's some of the animals I saw and drew. This one, I didn't get in the video. It's called a Patagonian cavy or cavy. I don't know how to pronounce it. But these were so cute. They looked like if you took a rabbit and a deer and just smushed them together. They were adorable. They were just relaxing, chilling, and they sit like a kitty cat. I mean, they were adorable. This one's ear was all floppy, and I drew him a couple of times. And then I drew a couple of the other ones. And the way that I did this was I literally just took like a few, let's say I brought like 3 markers, 3 colored pencils, and an ink pen. And I just brought a red, blue, and a yellow of each. And I just stuck them in my pocket. And then when I needed them, in my jeans pocket. And then when I needed them, I would just pull one out. And sometimes I would just pull one out randomly. Oh no! My jars of paint fell, finally. See what happens when you do stuff like that? I'm talking to myself, not you. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I would pull a marker or a colored pencil out of my pocket, and I would just, I'm not left-handed, but I'm holding the camera. I would just draw standing up with this little sketchbook. And here's the little northern tree shrew that you saw at the end of the video, who really reminded me of that little shrew on Ice Age. They must have just used this animal because he looked just like that, and the way he ate was so cute. I also brought some acrylic paint markers. So I brought acrylic paint markers, 3 of those, red, blue, and yellow, 3 alcohol markers, and 3 colored pencils, and then my fountain pen. So these are the little pigs. This Kenya crested guinea fowl had the coolest. He had the coolest call, like the coolest sound. It was, and none of these are in the video because I was too busy drawing. So if you're wondering why, that's why none of them are there. Here's some llama legs, the crocodile they have in the reptile house. My favorite animals, the tapirs. And this is the goofiest tapir drawing I've ever done, and I'm very proud of it. Look at his little they're goofy animals though. They're they all seem like mashups of different animals. It's like an elephant and a cow, or an elephant and a pig were kind of mashed together to create the tapir. This Asiatic black bear would not stop moving. So this was the best I could do for him. And here's one of the hornbills. I did a more detailed drawing of this one. This was the cassowary. I was in the middle of drawing this and got attacked by a squirrel.
Oh, what are you doing? Go.
So this one I didn't finish. Here is the hornbill, the rhinoceros hornbill, which was just the perfect subject. He sat there, he or she, I don't know if it's a boy or girl. One had red eyes and one had black eyes. And the reason I know that is because I sat there and stared at them to do this drawing. That's why slow documentation is important. Now I know the male and female have different colored eyes. I just have to look up which one's which. But this one seemed to enjoy sitting for a portrait. He was very cooperative. He would change poses every 5 or 10 minutes. It was the perfect model. So if you have a rhinoceros hornbill at your zoo, maybe that's a good place to start if you want to go draw at the zoo. These were the red pandas. They were eating, and they were also moving around a lot. So I didn't get real good drawings of those. Plus, I was with my 7-year-old, and you know, sometimes they get tired and want to move along, and so I have to stop drawing at that point, because when you're a parent and an artist and you have your child with you, that's just how it goes sometimes, and you got to roll with it. Kookaburra. The kookaburras did not like being at the zoo. Oh, these were the, saipan? I can't remember what the name of the monkey is. But they had a baby. They had a little baby saipan. I think that's what they're called. And I just love the way their arms would stretch out and their little faces, their little noses. So we sat for a while because they were being fed. And so I got some good drawings of them. And now I have a better understanding of their physical being, you know, the way their bodies work from doing this. Just from a few minutes of drawing, you get such an understanding of an animal, especially if they're moving around and you're trying to draw them. But that's all I have from the zoo. I'll show you some other slow documenting from my sketchbook, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. We live in a world of constant, fast documentation of life. A snippet of someone's day or week through a slideshow of photos on Instagram, or a tweet of an idea, a question or concern someone feels in that moment. But these fast documented moments are fleeting. Even virality only lasts so long, and the original point or thought is just lost along the way at some point. When people say they're nervous about doing art in public, I want to tell them, but think of how immersed you'll be in that moment. Sure, a person may look over your shoulder and see your view of the world, and it might not look very nice while you're doing it. And that might feel intimidating, but you're making slow documentation through your art of that particular moment. And that's an important, lasting thing. You aren't just looking at a building or a zoo animal, you're studying every detail of that thing and creating a slowed down memory. It's like, even if you started to forget details in the future, you'll have your drawing to remind you of the moment. This isn't exclusive to artists either. You can journal or make a voice recording or anything to document slowly and in detail that moment. If the public watching you feels overwhelming, then you can just start at home. Slow document your dog or your cat, the folds of their ears, their little paws, the way they sleep or relax. If you have kids, slow document them doing their homework or watching TV. Look at the way their hands hold a pencil, the way they take a nap. These moments are fleeting, and no amount of social media posts will capture this specific place and time in the same deep way. When I'm drawing at the zoo or a cafe and a stranger comes up and says, "Oh, are you drawing?" which is what they always say, I try to keep in mind that they are experiencing this crazy, fast-paced life too. Seeing me drawing has just created a memory for them as well. Maybe they'll go home and tweet about it. But maybe they'll slow document it in a journal, and their grandkids can share that memory someday and relive that moment in detail, just like their grandparent did. When I say slow documenting, what I really mean is old-fashioned documentation, pre-social media documentation. And social media has been an amazing tool, especially for artists. It's helped us share our work. It's helped us share our process. It's helped us learn from each other. But there is still an importance to an old-fashioned way of documenting. So I hope you can go out and do this, and I hope that you build up the courage to go document things in public in front of people, because it's good to see people doing things like that. And I think it helps build community, and I think we really need community right now. So have fun out there, slow documenting. Here's the finished still life that I did yesterday. And I really like the way it turned out. I don't use soft pastels that much. I really just started using them. And the way I did this was I did the painting, and then I went over it with soft pastels. I drew the birds with soft pastels. I did some charcoal in the background that is a little harder to see, but I like that. I went over the fruit with soft pastels, the picture, and I really think it added some great texture to the piece. I really liked the way this turned out. I like the yellow picture carafe with the dark background, and I really overall like the way this turned out. So I set up my still life just however it looks nice to me. This one I put like this, and then I go back and I do a sketch of it. And sometimes it helps to have a little viewfinder that you can look through just to kind of get your proportions correct. But after a while, you just sort of put something up there and figure out how everything else relates to that one thing. So if I wanted to, I could have drawn this lemon and then moved out from the lemon to the blue bottle, to the horse, to this bottle, to this, and then kind of drawn everything in as it connected. The problem with that is if you put the lemon in the wrong place, this picture, like in mine, is going to be off. These are going to be off, which I'm not really worried about with this because it doesn't bother me that much. But if you want it to be absolutely perfect in the middle of the painting, you may have to use a viewfinder or something to help you understand where that goes on your canvas. But I like messy paintings, so it's not going to look like that for me. And I'll go back and I'll paint over stuff and move things around and stuff too. That's part of the process for me. But yeah, this is how I set up my still lifes. This carafe, I found this at the thrift store. It's by a company called Kamenstein, or Kamenstein. Maybe it's Kamenstein. It's a German company, and they made this in the 90s, and they have one that's a chicken, and I want it so bad, but it's everywhere I've found it on eBay, it's already been sold. So if you have one of these and it's a chicken, let me know. I want to see it. I just want to look at it. Give me your address so I can break in your house and get something. But anyway, this is my setup. I like the blues and the yellows, and I don't know, these colors are just very visually appealing to me. And every time I go to the thrift store, it gives me a chance to collect more things, which my husband loves. Okay, so I got a few new art supplies, and I just wanted to show you what I got. And it's kind of a variety of things. So I did get a set of the ColorX PVO ColorX watercolor ink, and it comes with, it's a primary set with a white. So it's got yellow and sort of a magenta, primary magenta. So we'll test these out. So we'll test those out. I also got several of these Faber-Castell Albrecht Dürer watercolor pencils. I got these from Jerry's Artorama. Let's see if I can get it to focus. I got these from Jerry's Artorama, and they are just nice little watercolor pencils. I haven't really used these before, this brand, but they were marked down so cheap that I got as many as I could. I got these a while back and I just haven't used them yet. So I have a bunch of these that we can test out and color swatch. I also have these gel highlighters, which really are just gel crayons. It says they're for the Bible. I guess for highlighting your Bible so it doesn't go through. I definitely won't be using them for that because there is nary a Bible in sight. But I will be using these for coloring. So we'll test these out because they're really nice, soft pastel kind of colors. and they just look like they'll be fun. Now, before you all say anything, I know these aren't light fast. I know these aren't archival. These are just cheap, made in China gel pencils that are gel, I don't know what you call them, gel crayons. So these are just for messing around. I'm not going to be using these to make anything archival, okay? It's just going in the sketchbook. I think first maybe we should just try, let's try the inks first, and then we can layer some things and have some fun. So I'm going to put some ink in my little ink flower. Okay, so get my paintbrush. Okay, so let's just do some color swatching. Here's the yellow over here. Alright, so they're nice and bright. So far, no false advertising. These are nice. I really like that. Let's do some red. Ooh, that's very vibrant. Very nice. Like it. And our blue. So nice. I like these. Let's see. Let's try. We'll do our black and our white too. I don't. You may be able to see the white on this paper, but I'm not sure. So there's the black. It's just very black. And here's the white. You probably can't see the white, but we'll mix it with some of the other colors. So let's do this. Let's bring it over here and let's see what a gray looks like. That's nice. I feel like these would be a really nice base for a painting. A really vibrant kind of, let's see what kind of green it makes. Oh, that's a really nice green. And then we'll kind of dull it down with this. Nice. Interesting, it made more of a purple, sort of a brown color. And let's try these two together. Nice purple. Yeah, I like these a lot. Let's mix some with white. Let's do blue, some white. The white doesn't really change them drastically. I think you'd have to put the white down first and then add a little bit of color to the white, and then you get more of a muted color. Maybe if we add a little white to this orange. Interesting. Let's see. All right. Yeah, so these are just really pretty. Let's see what they look like when you really water them down. I mean, basically these are like watercolor, but extra vibrant. So let's put those aside. And let's do, I am interested to see if these will, while these are still wet, yeah, you can go over them with the watercolor pencils while they're still wet and probably get some pretty cool effects. So see, I can mix a green with the pencil and the ink. And then that's really nice. All right. So I think those will be useful. Now let's color swatch our pencils. I have a lot more pencils than I do inks, so let's do this. I'll make a nice little dry color swatch, and then we'll go over it with some water. I really like this color. It's kind of peachy. This is beige red. Cinnamon. Ooh, it's darker. It's like the beige red, but a shade darker. And then this is coral. I always like a good coral. Coral's nice. Useful color. Oh, and scarlet red. Okay, so this is like a orangish red. Also a very nice color to have in your palette. And middle cadmium red. Ooh, a lot darker than I thought it would be. It's almost like a good lipstick color. And this one looks like wine. It's red violet. Very pretty wine kind of color. And this is Caput Mortuum Violet. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's really pretty. I like that a lot. All right, let's move on to some blues. Kind of light sky blue, phthalo blue, which accidentally got two phthalo blues, and cobalt blue greenish. That's interesting. It's sort of like cerulean blue, but darker. Prussian blue, Delft blue, which is sort of a blue violet almost. So, love this color. This is earth green. And then we have olive green yellowish. I love this color too. And juniper green, a much cooler green, and we have chrome oxide green, kind of a mixture in warmth between these two colors. This is a great color. This is like a nice oceany seaweed color. It's very nice. Okay, and then we have our grays. Well, I have a sepia. Sepia. I love a good sepia. It's a nice color. Comes in handy. This is the warm gray 3. And this is the warm gray 1. And then we have a black. All right, let's go over these with a wet paintbrush and see what they do. All right, let's look at the yellow. Oh wow, they really stay vibrant when you wet them. It's almost as vibrant as the inks. Maybe not this one so much, but oh, that's nice. I like that. Light was making a weird shadow on things. So I'm just gonna hold my phone for now, or my camera, not my phone. And we'll see how these do. I like that. I like that kind of orange red. This one's more vibrant. They're more vibrant when you wet them. That's pretty. Here's what they look like. You thin them out more. Yeah, these are really nice. Okay. It's getting dark outside, so the lighting is becoming an issue. Oh, I love that. That's beautiful. That sort of looks like an ultramarine. But it's not. That's pretty too. This is very purple. Not really a color I use that much. It's not one of my favorite colors, but it's pretty right there. I don't know what it is about purple. I'm just not... It has to be very specific types of purple for me to enjoy using it. Oh, this is nice. I can, that'll be really useful. That color. And I love this sepia. I like that a lot. Gray. Wow, that got really light. This one you can't even, it's almost disappears. It's very light gray when you wet it. And then there's the black. Really nice. So how I like to use these, honestly, when I use watercolor pencils, I like to, let me get a good color. I like to dip in water and then it makes really smooth lines, but they transition to something with more texture as they dry out. So they start off very smooth, and then the more you use it, the more you get this cool texture. So I really like that. Yeah, I like these a lot. Let's see how this does over, let's see if these are dry. Let's see how this does over dried. Oh, that's nice. I could see these being used with watercolor inks. For a textured shading or something like that. So, all in all, I like these a lot. Again, I think I'm going to use these, definitely. it's interesting because sometimes we think that good I think that good art supplies have to be expensive, and when I say good, I mean something you can make art that you like with. I don't mean good quality. I mean good as in I want to use this, because it doesn't matter how good the quality of an art supply is. If you don't want to use it, it's worthless. If you don't want to use it, if you don't like it, then it's not worth anything. So there are really cheap art supplies that you can buy that aren't going to be light fast, they aren't going to be archival quality, but they will give you the ability to do some really interesting, fun artwork. And if you if you are okay with making prints out of it, or using it for your sketchbook just to see what things do, what does this thing do with this other thing, then buy cheap stuff. Get the cheap stuff. If you're going to use it, it's worth it. So I'm definitely glad I purchased these. These inks weren't cheap. The cheapest thing was this was about $5 for all of them, but the inks were a little more expensive, but also they are made in France. So, it's just you pay for the quality, and the quality is great if you love using the product. Okay, it's the end of the day. It's getting dark outside. I'm tired, and it's time to end this video. And if you've taken anything from this video, I hope it's that you slow down and just use whatever materials you have on hand. Just use whatever you have. That's my main message of this video, is to slow down, take in life, and just use what's at your disposal to make something fun. It doesn't even have to be beautiful. I was going to say make something beautiful. I make a lot of things that aren't beautiful. Uh, make some art, and don't worry about what it looks like. Just make it. Just make it and put it out there. I hope you have a good week, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching my channel again and again. I love you. Like, love you. Not in that way, but in a purely platonic way. I am in love with you. So thank you for watching my channel. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you next time.